The anthropological study of shamanism is replete with many misconceptions. Much of the literature talks about psychopathological states or dissociative states, and I feel that many anthropologists have completely misunderstood the therapeutic aspects of shamanism. In this particular respect, I want to go beyond the models. What I've talked to you about in class up to this point are my understandings of shamanism from my reading about accounts and also my experience of journeys and teachings of different shamans that I've had the privilege to know. What I want to do today is something different. I want to take this into the experiential realm so you can figure out for yourself what there is to the shamanic journey, what there is to a healing circle, and to see if there's anything in the practice of shamanism that has something to tell you about healing at a level that we don't normally think about. Our Western allopathic medical model largely treats the body and isolates the body from the mind and from the soul. The kind of healing that's implicit in shamanism makes an assumption that these three factors that are kept separate in our current medical model are in fact integrated. This shoot is taking place at Carleton University. We're by the river, the Rideau River, one of the nicest spots on campus. It's one of my favorites where I come and have lunch on occasions. But there is somebody I would like you to meet. This is Patrick Lamar, who is a highly respected elder and shaman. He's a member of the Algonquin Nation, and he's kindly consented to an interview about the work and experience in healing that he conducts. First of all, I would like to offer tobacco to Patrick as a sign of respect and honor for the knowledge that he brings to us. Patrick?
Thank you.
Patrick, how did you become a shaman?
Well, I started probably about when I was 5 years old with my uncle. My uncle started teaching me back in the lumber camps where my father and mother lived. And my uncle was living in that area, so I used to go and visit him. And he would start teaching me the medicines and things I had to know as far as introducing me to being a medicine man. And that's about when I started. Along about when I was 10 years old, I was bringing horses back about 35 miles from their winter pasture, and I'd ridden all day from 7 o'clock in the morning till 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And when I come home, I'd had found out that I had German measles, and I had a really high fever. And for about 3 days, they didn't know if I was going to make it or not. My parents weren't home for the first day, but I started some of my journeys there into the other worlds, which a lot I didn't understand at that time. Going into the underground and going into the spirit world and going towards the white light, having the near-death experiences at that time. So I spent my first fast when I was 9 years old, after being in sweat lodges for 4 days, and then being on my fasting for I believe 10 days at that time, which I gained some of my medicines and also some of my animal helpers that stayed with me, which in particular was a wolf. That was my power animal to help me on my journeys. And that was my first fast. When I was about 14, I went on another fast that was to find my healing powers, and that was 14 days. And in those days, when I first went out, I was alone, just with my blanket, and was in the spring, cold. There was warm days, but I lived with a family of moose at that time, and they started showing me about their medicines, the medicines that they used to heal themselves in the bush, and I stayed with them for that 14 days till the last day. There was hunters out that spring looking for moose, and they were saying to me when I was running with them, and they asked me to stay with them, and they said that the humans were coming and they were going to shoot them, and that's when I started coming back out of my fast. But I'd gotten a lot of my medicines from the moose at that time. Yeah, there was a lot of fear when I was younger, till I was more initiated with my uncle and with other medicine men along the road. Seeing a lot of different things about life growing up in having a very hard life myself, growing up in a place where we didn't have a lot to eat and there wasn't a lot of game around, and we had to always go after food was very scarce, so it was very, very hard work and a lot of suffering in there, and trying to take care of brothers and sisters also at the same time. But there was a lot of suffering.
The model of healing that lies underneath all that you're saying, how acceptable is this by the community at large? Not just the general public, but the academic community of psychotherapy.
Well, the healing that I use, first I'll start with some of the things that I have with the animals that I call in, and the four grandfathers into the circle. But I want to talk about the aspect of the medicine wheel that we use to heal ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And that is very, very important, because if we don't have that type of balance, then we're not in harmony with ourselves, or harmony within Mother Earth, or within society either, as far as taking care of ourselves. So we need all those aspects. So if we heal on one side, we need to be emotional stable, and also have physical exercise and learning, all those different aspects of the medicine wheel. So it's very, very important. I want to say too that when I was on a lot of my own personal journeys when I was growing up, I've got a lot of my medicines. I've got a lot of I talked about my power animal, my wolf, but I also have 6 other guides that work with me within healing, whether I'm working individually or within a group, and they're always in there helping me, and they're working through me. I'm not the power, but they're working through me as an entity, an individual, to deliver these powers. So I'm just like a conduit. That's what I am. And I do travel, out-of-body experiences. I have that when I travel. When I need to find a medicine for another person, and sometimes I've been gone as long as 3 days on a travel, on a trip, just gone out of body. So that's another story too, with out-of-body experiences. So.
Now, are these skills relevant to the modern age? We're filming this on campus with buses and cars going past, so we have a mix of traditional and very modern. And I just wonder if the skills that you bring to bear, and the knowledge that you have, is it relevant in the modern world to native and non-native people?
Well, I think it is, because with everything the way it's going today with non-native people and native people, the stresses are very, very bad. They don't know where where the stress stops, and the emotional and the physical things that's happening with them. So you need to have a place where you can work on the whole body and the mind and everything as you're working, but also get a balance there. And I think it's very much needed. So I've talked to some doctors, and they are leaning that way also. They figure by the year 2000 that there's going to be a lot more of the holistic healing, and to working with the mind, and to relax it, because we're moving too fast in this day and age, that we don't slow down enough to be creative, to think, and to even feel. We're moving just too fast. When I do my own personal journeys, I use either the drums, or I'll use the rattles, and I'm pretty quick to go into it. And I'll also use the breathing too. It gets me into it faster. But the breathing takes you into another an altered consciousness of it clears the negativity also out of you, but also it moves the negative energies out, the stresses you're feeling. the emotional feelings that you're having. So it clears yourself to be fully relaxed, so that you can relax yourself to go on to the journey. When I say go on to the journey, it's a journey of healing, because when you have resistance against energies, or resistance against any type of healing, it's harder to heal and harder to move those things around. And basically we create a lot of our own sicknesses because of the stress and because of the emotional things that we put on ourselves, and that what happens through our lifetime. It just builds up to a point.
So being in an altered state of consciousness makes the journey more effective.
Makes it more effective, and it leaves the body more open to healing. Is more receptive to moving the energies around, more receptive to resistance there as far as healing and blocks. So that puts you in a place where, when I say altered conscious reality, it's just a different reality. It's a reality of what we're doing, and it's not only for natives; it's for everybody. Everybody can do it that are willing to have that to go on that journey. To heal themselves and even heal our own families, because it's needed. I mean, we've been using it for thousands and thousands of years in different cultures, not only in native culture, Siberia, Russia, and all those other cultures have been using the shaman as a healer.
Do you think it's an appropriate time to bring the knowledge and skills that you have to the larger community, non-native and native?
Oh yes, because very much so, because we're all integrated together, and my teachings from on a domestic level with the medicine man and also as a shaman is to respect the white, the red, the black, and the yellow people, and that's all people, to do my healings and to try to integrate so that each nation, each people can understand each other and get along a lot better.
And what is the purpose of this medicine that you've been referring to?
My power animal is a wolf, and this is the wolf here. And when I say power animal, that's the animal that stays with me when I make my journey, that stays with my body when I make my journey, so that I'm protected from any outside entities that come in. So I always have this here with me, but the wolf is always with me. This is a bear skull here. And this is one of my medicines that I use the bear quite a bit in my journeys and with individuals. And I also have the oil from the bear. And it there's only a certain time of year I get it is when you take that bear at that certain time of year that you use it for healing. And I have the medicines from that. And it's about a 4-year-old bear. And this bear wasn't killed with a rifle, or it wasn't killed with a trap. It was killed with a stake. I had to do that myself. We went into the mountains and did that too, and because that's the way we respect that bear for what he gives us, the healing. He comes from the west as far as healing, and helps us to do part of our healing. Some of the rattles that we use when we travel are. This is one I made years and years ago. It's made out of deer hide, and there's a dew claws in the back. It's usually like this, and we use it for the ceremonies, different sounds to do different types of journeys and where we're going. And this is, even how old this is here, it still works really well. But I use other small ones too. Okay, this is a pipe I've used for a long time here, but I've glued it together so that it wouldn't be used again. And I use this for healing in different communities that I worked in across Canada. And I'd retired it because it had done its job already. You'll notice around the walls here we have the drums also. I'll just get one here. We have the drums, and those are used for also getting our medicine journeys, and it needs to be heated up here right now, but we use that for our journey, it's like a hypnotic music to take us on our to where we're going, whether it be spirit world or the underworld or this world here. So that is one of them. Okay. and all this, also the sweet grass, and I have sage here. It's all medicines that we use for smudging and cleansing and purification. All the other things are just things that I've picked up along the way, and I have another pipe, but it's over there. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah.
So the principles of the healing arts that you practice, is there much of a crossover in terms of how they can be applied in modern psychotherapy, for instance? I know there are many parallels in transpersonal psychology, but it seems that you're operating with quite a different model, one that integrates body, mind and soul, and doesn't just treat the body, it treats the whole integrated individual. So the kind of model of healing that you have, how acceptable do you think this would be to the medical community at large?
Well, like I say, the doctors that I've talked to, they say that was coming around to it, but as far as the general population, I don't have any problem with getting people that want to do this kind of work, because it works quite effectively. It doesn't take 10 or 12 years as far as going to a psychologist or psychiatrist. It all depends on the person, how much he wants to, or how much she wants to do the work on herself, and how much they're willing to give out of their own, because the healing's inside that person. And I find that there's a lot of people from all walks of life that want this type of work.
So it's a safe and a sacred way to release anger, anxiety.
Very much so, and it releases in many different ways. It releases in crying or sweating or pain that comes out of the body, and that's moved all around through moving the energies around the body to release these things, and it changes a person's whole attitude and whole way of life. After they started the healing process and got out of that, they can use their creativity to be creative, to do other things, their work or whatever they're into, that they don't carry around these big loads that they've held for since childhood and stuff. With the addictions, once you have the addiction on the road, it's just you start working and getting into the while you're there, whether it be sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, all those things that's there for you, and it has to do with self-esteem, caring for yourself, and it's in the ways that I do my work with a person, is that it takes them to a place when they've relaxed and they've gotten the stress away. It takes them to a point where they can experience what is good in life for them, and they have a good feeling about themselves. So that's a goal for them to work towards, and they work at it every day, and it gets better and better every day. And there's not very many therapies that can do that, to take you from a first a couple of sessions to where the point is that you can feel good and know this is how I felt when I was young and spiritual and I was innocent. This is how I felt, and this is the goal I'm going to work to.
So in the sense that the healing process is to return us to the full capacities of each one of us as an individual human being, without the traumas and the obstacles and the blockages.
And to learn how to be able to handle them as you go along in life, to take them as not as a roll of water off your back, but as you know how to handle them, and know what to do with yourself. The pain goes away, and the sadness is still. Sometimes sadness there, memories are still there, but the pain is gone. And you don't carry it around in your body. So it's 20-pound packs actually you're carrying all your life.
Now I know that there are one or two people who've gathered outside the teepee who are familiar with your work. I wondered if you would care to take them and me on a journey.
Sure.
To complete this theme on shamanism, so that there's something experiential.
I would do that, sure. That would be great. Yeah. Okay, good. So what I've got here is a mixture of sweetgrass and sage and tobacco. These are all medicines that we use. What we use for purification, moving negative energies around the body, and also opening the doors for the grandfathers and the grandmothers to come in. Also for the tobacco is one of the gifts that the Creator give us as Native people to. It's like a direct pipeline or direct telephone line to the Creator, so He hears our prayers, and spirits come to us a lot quicker. Today here I brought sage and tobacco for offerings for different people here, so that they can offer to the fire. The fire is another gift from the Creator that gives us warmth and cooks our meals and has lots of uses in our lives. I've invited the grandfather from the East in today because this is a new beginning here for Carleton University for them as far as introducing this type of thing to their classes and to their to the faculty. So I've invited a grandfather in today to help us get things going for to have, because he's from the East. There's new beginnings and new things that happen for the Native people and the non-Native people, that we're coming together and trying to get an understanding of each other and to work with each other as nations. And that's the reason why I invited this grandfather, and he was willing to come, and I've offered tobacco for him to come. So what I'm going to do now is that with this here, I'm going to smudge the people that are going to be in the healing circle, and so they can move those negative energies that are around them, and to clear their mind and clear their thoughts of things that they're feeling, or even things that they pick off other people. Good. 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 Okay, we'll join hands and we'll have a prayer. I'd like to thank the Creator for giving us a beautiful day and a warm day to do this work here, and to ask Him to be with us as we make our journey today, and also as we make our journey through life, and to take care of our relatives and our families and our loved ones that we care so much for, and take care of those people that have lost their road and have gotten off the Sweetgrass Road, to take care of them, to help them as they make their journey, to take care of those people that are across the ocean that are having a hard time with death and starvation, and give them the strength to get things happening for them, and also give them the strength to make their journeys. Also to take care of all our relatives that have passed over on the other side, our grandfathers, our grandmothers, and our loved ones that are having the journey over there, and their teachings, and watch out over them. Also to watch out over our Mother Earth here, all our feathered friends, our four-legged friends, and all our animals, and all our plant life, and to watch over our universe, our sun and our moon, and all the universe out there that gives us so much that help move on through our miigwech. So we'll go into the TP to do the circle. Okay, I want everybody just to relax, try to clear their mind, their head, and just try not to make your own agenda, and breathe the way down in your tummy. Make sure that you breathe the way down. If you have anything that's restricting you, just unhook it so that you breathe deep down inside. If anything comes up for you, let it happen. If any sadness, anger, or what you're feeling, let it come out. Let it come out for you. So if everybody would start breathing down to 4, breathe down deep inside. Remember that we're in a safe place, and it's safe here for you. I'm here to help you with make your journey. Everybody breathe down to 10. I'll be coming around to check you and see how you're doing, and also I'll be going around with the feather around your body to balance out your energies. Just relax your breathing now for a bit. Okay, everybody, do some short breathing. That's going. Okay, relax. Let's take the breathing up to 14. Okay, everybody breathe down to 18. Everybody take it up to 20 now. Everybody relax their breathing now. I'm going to take you on a journey right now. We're moving alongside this river. See the cool blue-green water. Feel the sun, the heat gently on your face. Mild wind blowing through your hair as you're walking, moving along. As you move along, you come to this big beaver pond where you see all the animals there. There's the beaver showing her young ones how to fix the dam. There's the muskrat. There's the otter sliding down the bank. You hear the loon in the background and hear all the frogs, blackbird singing. See the fishes in the water. Great blue heron and walking alongside the shore. See the eagle flying above. At the end of the pond you see the cow moose with her calf. In the meadow, the deer with their young fawn. And at the edge of the meadow, the black bear with her 2 young cubs, teaching them how to find food in the stumps. You hear the wolves in the background. Sit there for a while and watch them. Ask them, if any one of them, if they want to come along with you on your journey. And if they don't, that's okay. I want you to walk along the trail till you come to this beautiful forest where all the trees or their branches are stretched out towards the sky. It's like they're praying all the time for Mother Earth, to the Creator. There's a small opening going in that forest. Just want you to walk through there. It's cool and damp as you're going through. Walk towards the light. When you get into the middle of the forest, there's a big rock there. Big flat rock. And I want you to sit there. Feel that warm light going through your body. Through the top of your head, down through your shoulders, through your chest, through your abdomen, down through your legs. Feel that energy, that light moving blocks around, clearing out. And as you're sitting there, you feel a couple of presents around you. Just ask them to come out. There's a real old lady and an old man, an old Shea woman, an old Shaman. Just give them each a hug. Tell them that you're glad that they came to see you. And feel the warmth and the caring and the understanding and the unconditional love from these 2 people as you hug them. Tell them you're glad that they came to listen to your problems and to take away those negative things that you're feeling. I want you to sit there with them and tell them all about the hurts and that you had when you were young and growing up, and when you were in your young adulthood. Problems that you had, relationships, problems you have with your life. Just to leave them there. Don't be afraid to tell these two people. They'll take those negative things and put them back into the earth so they can come out as good again. If there's somebody that's passed on to the other side that you want to see, just ask them how they're doing. And if there's somebody there that you need to visit with, ask them if they'll visit. If they don't show up, then it's okay also. Sometimes we don't have time to say anything to them when they've passed over to the other side, or they want to say something to us that never was said. This is a good time to say it to them and talk to them and ask them how they're doing and how things are for them. Just spend some time with them. I want you to leave there and walk out through that opening in the forest, feeling that coolness and that dampness as you're moving through. And coming out to the opening, there's the big eagle waiting for you. I want you to ask him if he'd give you a ride. I want you to jump up on his neck and on his shoulders and fly out. Let him carry you out there, and you see all the rivers and all the lakes, all the other animals you see for miles and miles. You feel the freedom as you move through. And as you're flying there on top of them, feel them moving out from underneath you, and you're flying yourself, flying through the air. You're moving along. Feel the drafts, the updrafts and the downdrafts, and the currents in the air as you're moving through. And I want you to fly down to the beaver pond and just sit there and watch all the animals. They're really glad to see you, that they know that you've made a good journey. See the beaver and the muskrat and the ducks and the geese and the deer and the moose, all the frogs and the blackbirds, all the fishes. The bear is playing up on the side of the forest. You hear the wolves. All these animals are glad for you, that you've made a good journey. I want you to sit there for a minute and just relax. And I want you to get up from there and walk down that trail by the river. And just slowly come back into the room. I'll just let you stand up too. I'll brush yours off. Be careful when you get up. Okay.
Sleep.
Right. You're not healed yet, are you? There's also a little ritual we usually do with, we usually do it after we do the prayer, but we'll do it today. We hug each other, and when we hug, we're going around the circle, we give a hug, and when we're standing in a circle, we receive a hug. But it's also a good exercise for us, part of the program, that we take care of the physical part. It's, when we have to reach down for shorter people, reach down like this, and we're reaching up, we have to reach higher, reaching round. So it's a good exercise for everybody. So I'll start the hugging, and then we can just hug here. Have a good day.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
You too.
Have a good day.
It's Patrick.
Good day.
Beautiful.
Good day.
I'm so happy somebody called me. Spirit guides or something. I'm transferred.
It'll be great.
I'm going to be passing the feather around to each individual to explain their experiences and their what their feelings are and how the journeys have helped them in their everyday life. And when we pass the feather around, we pass it to an individual. They have they do the speaking with the feather, so there's no crosstalk or anything. There's no criticism of what they're talking about or what they're feeling. So I'm going to pass the feather over to Anna here so that she can say a few words.
Anna, would you care to talk about the general experiences you've had with not just this healing circle, but other circles that you have experienced with Patrick?
Okay. I guess the main feeling I've had since I've started coming to these circles is I've really felt blessed. I've really felt, that's the word that keeps coming to me. I feel blessed because I've felt a lot of healing in myself and in my life, and I've felt blessed to be able to learn from Patrick and learn from the teachings he brings. And for me it's been particularly special because I've wanted to learn about this since I was a little girl. And every circle I've learned a bit more and I've experienced a bit more. And I think that's what it is, it's the experiencing the teachings within myself. So blessed is the word.
Marianne, could you tell us what difference the experience of the circles has made in your own healing?
There's been quite a dramatic change for me in my life. I've been a very emotional person my whole life, and through the circles I've been able to deal with myself and my pain and my anger and resentment towards what's happened to me throughout my life. I'm better able to take care of myself with self-care and look after myself, whereas before I was doing almost everything in my power to destroy myself. It's been a very beneficial process, and I'm very happy that I had the chance to meet Patrick and to begin my healing process. I have a way to go, but I can now feel a sense of freedom in life, and I'm no longer afraid of life. And it's made a complete difference in me.
Bruce, how was today's journey for you?
I feel a sense of calmness at present, and we get wrapped up in this sort of contemporary world and you feel stressed out and whatnot. Today wasn't as vivid as circles in the past have been, but the calmness at the end is certainly there, and it sort of helps me to carry on throughout the week, I suppose. So I'm feeling very calm right now.
Lee, these circles are part of your cultural heritage, as you have a Cree background. What changes do you see in yourself and your outlook on life as a direct consequence of the circles that you have participated in?
I think the biggest change is really a sense of focusedness. There was always a sense of knowing what I wanted to do, but coming to the circles has really broadened my horizons and got me more in touch with a lot more of the basal elements in my life, and really put me on a sense of a straightness, really going towards a specific goal, and just really grounding me, and it's made a world of difference. It's really brought me back more and more to the Cree roots in myself, working with Patrick, and it's been fantastic, really beneficial.
Thank you very much. Well, I'd like to thank Anna, Marianne, Bruce and Lee for participating in today's healing circle. But my gratitude is mostly to Patrick. The gifts and insights that he brings to everybody who comes within his orbit are nothing short of exceptional. And I consider it a great privilege that he's agreed to this interview and to show not just the people who have participated in this circle, but the class and the television audience, to show his skills in a simple, straightforward and heartfelt manner. My gratitude and thanks to you, Patrick.
Ian, I'd like to thank you for letting me come here to explain some of these things, but it gives a different impression of who our people are and what we're trying to do in society. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do that. I thank you.